Hey guys, you caught me practicing my piano. Let's talk about the Beatles Get Back right now. I'm a huge Beatles fan. One of my first cassettes I got was from a friend in high school, and it was the Beatles White Album. And it was one of those cassettes that was like 120 minutes, and it was like the full thing. I played that thing all the time. The White Album is my favorite album because I know it so well, because I played it all the time. And it was wild, man. It's a wild freaking album. So I'm a big fan. I've seen many of their documentaries. I'm a big fan. And Peter Jackson's a fan, and I'm like, okay, let's watch this in the theater. Then it's like, no, we're not going to make this in the theater. We're going to now make it longer, 7 hours, and put it on Disney Plus. So I stayed up till midnight to watch the first part on, I think it was Christmas or Thanksgiving. And I'll say this, I loved it. Here's the deal. If you're creative, okay, if you do things like I do comics, right? If you're creative, there's a process in that action, which is to me very exciting and very intriguing, fascinating. How does one come up with things? How does one, create? How does one create, right? There is a science, there's a pattern, there is some methodology, but also there is some magic, there's some pixie dust that happens that at times one feels kind of, in the zone or, possessed by some spirit of creativity. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that process. And that's what this is for. This is for those creatives, those people who want to watch people struggle and grind out songs and figure it out, right? And if you don't like that, then I would say this is not for you. This is too much. It's too crazy. If you had to watch anything, I would say the last half of it. Watch the last section, maybe a little bit of the part two, but just skip most of it because it's just going to bore you. That said, of course, it did not bore me. Let's talk about some of the things that I thought were great. Again, a lot of these albums, see, I thought this was going to be about Abbey Road and the creation of Abbey Road, which is considered one of their finest. It's actually Let It Be. Most of these songs are Let It Be. Now, some of these songs, you'll hear multiple songs that they performing and are working on. Some of them appear on Abbey Road. Most of them appear on Let It Be. As you guys know, it's kind of weird the way the order went. Let It Be was it's kind of strange. Let It Be was recorded first but released last, vice versa on that. Okay, so that's what's kind of strange. It's like you see them recording things, but Let It Be came out last, but it was recorded first. Does that make sense? It's kind of weird. That's just the way the songs kind of laid out. But it was basically in that period between January and I think down in August of that year, they made all the songs for those two albums. Let It Be came out. Let It Be came out last. Abbey Road came out first, but is recorded last. So confusing. Go wiki that. I'm telling you the truth though. It was great to hear them play Chuck Berry songs and Bob Dylan songs and all. I mean, it's not just that they know just freaking, Beatles songs. They know Dylan songs, and they know what's out there. They know Pet Boys, the Beach Boys. They know what's going on. They went to go see Jimi Hendrix the day after Sgt. Pepper. Man, I am having problems today. Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Heart. Everyone's like, unsubscribe. This guy sucks down. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. You know who's got it? The Beatles. John, Paul, George, Ringo. This documentary really makes Paul in these later years, literally the last year, become more the lead band leader. He is the one herding the cats. He's the one trying to get everyone together. You see this throughout the whole thing. And hey, you can't argue with the footage. Now, I don't know if it was like that in the beginning. I think it was a little bit more cooperative, but he's kind of like trying to get this together. And meanwhile, there's also a director who's trying to make this a TV show. Well, that TV show falls apart, so they're just gonna we're gonna make it a movie. And so there's a lot of bits about where we're gonna perform this. They go to this one studio soundstage. They don't do that. They wind up going to Abbey Road, to the Apple headquarters. They do it there for the second half, and then of course you guys know they perform up on the roof. Which is sad because they only did 4 or 5 songs. It wasn't much of a full concert there. It wasn't like they played everything. They just played a little bit, and then they had to stop because the coppers, the bobbies, were after them. Let's talk about, I guess, Yoko a little bit. I mean, personally, if I'm sitting here trying to play a song, right? If I'm trying to play a song, and then I see the dark apparition, the Grim Reaper, all in black, all the time, just staring, reading, knitting, not talking, but just, so not interrupting, not getting in the mix, but just presence, it would drive me freaking batty. I could not handle it. And towards the later half, you see Paul bring his wife and kid there, and but oh my gosh, just having her there all the time would have drove me crazy. That said, she is like the emotional support companion. She's like one of these dogs that you give the autistic kids so that they can handle life. That's what she is. She's like the emotional support person. And John, for him to be happy, needs her at his side. Then fine, we gotta have John, so we take this crazy woman. That's fine. I'm not a fan that she's got to be elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, the guy. Let her be off in the back with the Hare Krishna buddy of George's. Oh no, she's gonna be right there in the little inner circle. They're literally in a huddle, 4 feet diameter huddle, and then she's there too. So she's the 5th one there. Kind of crazy. Billy Preston, bringing him really brought some life to the group. I mean, really gave him more energy. I'm sure they were a little bit more on their better behavior. He was full of life and joy, and he's like, dude, I'm gonna freaking make money and be on a Beatles album. Hell yeah, put me in everything. So that was great. A great creative force, voice in it, and as well as just kind of nice to have kind of a neutral party in there. Ringo, this documentary kind of gives you the feeling that he's a little bit more of a studio musician, almost session guy. That he's just hey, tell me what to drum, I'll drum it. Otherwise, I'm just taking naps and chilling. That's kind of the impression you get a little bit. George, of course, seems like he's got songs, he's got a voice, he wants to be creative, having a hard time managing the Paul-John dynamic with equal footing on creative opportunities for him. At one point, he storms out, he's like, look, I'll just play what you want to play. And it's a clear conflict of one guy saying, let's just map this out. Let's just get through all the pieces, and then we can go back and kind of put some meat on the bones. And then there's George, who's like, I can't even put the skeleton because I don't even know how to start, So there's I want to just different approaches to the creative process of making a song. And it becomes a big freaking mess to the point where he leaves the band. They go back to try to get him. He says no. So that we have a week or so of them just negotiating back to get George back in the band. He does wind up coming back, and he has some great songs. Me, My is a great song, and he had a couple others. All the years must pass, something like that. My mind is crazy today. Yeah, so a little bit of conflict there, but man, it was such a great experience. They look so young. It looks like it was today, It was just really, really, as a Beatles fan, it was awesome. I'll probably watch it again. I'm that much of a nerd for it. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? Was it too long? Was it not long enough? What kind of insights did you get on the characters, the dynamics of it? Really appreciated, Paul, really bluesy guy. Really feeling the bluesiness of his playing, feeling Like, that's what he liked. And it's just cool. It's just rock and roll, baby. It's awesome. Loved it. What do you guys think? If you want to like the channel, you can do like. If you don't like it, because I'm kind of out there, just don't even do nothing. Just walk away. Just walk away. If you enjoyed it, though, subscribe. I have other stuff. You want to see what I do creatively? What my creative juices flow, how they flow, what my river is like? Go check out the Patreon. Thanks, guys. Peace out.